Okay, hey, welcome back. It's week number 4, and we are on session number 4 of the 2022 High School Football Official School. I was informed by my buddies that I've talked way too fast for session 3, so I'll try to slow it down, but that's hard for me. You're just going to have to listen faster, I guess. But anyway, you know what it's all about by now. Now you know what our mission statement is. We'll go through this. You know how much the Tri-City Area Officials Association has done for us, and we appreciate them so much. And you also know that MHSAA is not putting this program on, but they are very supportive of the recruitment and training of officials, so we appreciate them very much. And without further ado, let's get on to the agenda for tonight. Here's what we hope to do. We want to talk a little bit about game time, clock control, kicks, snapping, handling, and passing the ball, eligible receivers, scoring plays, and touchbacks. So we'll see how far we get on this today. And like I said, I try to keep this under 40 minutes because I think I can keep you on board better if the chances of you staying with us are much better rather than having me drag on for 2 hours. Talk about game time. We're talking a high school varsity or in most cases sub-varsity games too. Middle school games might be 8 minutes or 10 minutes on their quarters, but we're basically looking at 4 quarters of 12 minutes each. There is a 3-minute warm-up before the second half. I want to talk about this a minute. This cannot be skipped. This is mandatory. You do not have to make the team warm up. They can stand there and watch TV on the side. I don't care what they do, but we have to give them 3 minutes for a time to warm up should they choose to warm up. So that's not an optional thing, people. No, you don't ever skip that. They always get their 3 minutes. Halftime is 10 to 20 minutes in duration plus the 3-minute warm-up time. So you could actually be 20 minutes plus 23 minutes out of there, couldn't you? Off the field, yeah? So it's not, the 3 minutes isn't included in the 10 to 20. You have to add that on. You can't shorten it, the halftime below 10 minutes, and you can't have a coach or an AD call you up and say, hey, listen, we got a big homecoming, we want to go 25 minutes. No, you can't do that. Okay, it's 10 to 20 plus the 3-minute warm-up. Okay, timeouts the coaches can have. Each team gets 3 timeouts and a half, and those are gone. I have company today too for this, helping me out with this presentation, which is always nice. My partner Joel Barnes is here, so I always double check myself with him. But Joel, I believe all the timeouts for overtime are wiped out and everybody gets 1, right?
Correct.
So
one per overtime session.
1 per overtime session. So keep that in mind. You know, they do not carry over. Okay. How about the clock control? Starting and stopping the clock. The ready for play versus the snap and the play clock. Wow. Let's see how we want to talk about this. Starting and stopping the clock. Well, we know what our mechanics are. We wind our arm when we want to start the clock, don't we? Say after a penalty or something, you know, where the only thing that stopped the clock was the penalty, and say I'm the referee. So after I step off the penalty, I'm going to blow the 25-second, and I'm going to wind my arm. Let me tell you something. In a regular play, let's say after a timeout or something like that, the ball's going to start with the snap. I still see this on Channel 12 and 5 in the highlight films. I've got referees winding their arm when the ball is snapped. Why? It's not we don't do that. When the clock starts with the snap, you don't wind the clock. Nobody does, okay? It's only when the clock's going to start with the ready for play do you wind the clock. All right, how do we stop the clock? Everybody knows that. We stop the clock like this, right? We got good signals for doing that. Starting and stopping the clock. And I mentioned in one of the other sessions how important it is to keep the clock running when a guy is not out of bounds. He's along the sideline, and let's say he gets knocked out of bounds by the defense. Well, I got forward progress in bounds. And it's always nice when my line to scrimmage officials will tell me, keep their arm winded. Just let me know that we're in bounds. Just let me know that we are still in bounds. And of course, if he goes out of bounds on his own, or he goes out of bounds going forward, one of the first things that line of scrimmage guy better do is give me the timeout. Call timeout. Okay. What else about starting and stopping the clock? The ready for play versus the snap. Scrimmage plays, that's what you got. When does the clock, let's go off the scrimmage play to a free kick. When does the clock start? When the ball's kicked? No, when the ball's touched by a member of the receiving team on a free kick. Okay, that's going to start the clock. Okay. What else? Did I miss anything on starting and stopping the clock you can think of, Joel? Pretty much it there. Ready for play and at the snap. That's the 2 times that on scrimmage plays, the clock's either going to start with the ready for play or with the snap, depending on what occurred prior to that. Obviously, if you got an incomplete pass, when's the clock going to start? With the snap, right? When you got a timeout by either team, the clock's going to start with the snap. Anything that stopped that play that wasn't an incomplete pass or a timeout, it's going to go with the ready for play. Like when we have a penalty, like a holding call on a running play or something, we step it off. Okay, we're going to start that with a ready for play. Okay, remember we got in regards to the play clock here. Let me talk about that too. The play clock, we went to 40 seconds on the play clock here a couple years ago. I can't remember for sure when, 3 or 4 years ago. Which means that when the ball comes dead, at the end of the play, the ball's dead, right? And we're now into a dead ball period. Boom, the official, the covering official is going to raise his hand. It lets the back judge know, or the play clock operator, if you're lucky enough to have one in the press box, that we're going to start the 40-second clock. So they got 40 seconds to get the next play off. That's really nice, okay? If we don't get that ball spotted with at least 25 seconds left, we're going to do this and reset it to 25 seconds, okay? That's the play clock. It's the amount of time that an offense has to get the ball snapped again, to get it live again. So, important stuff. Okay, starting and stopping the clock, play clock, talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about when kicks go out of bounds. That's going to stop the clock for sure. Free kicks that go out of bounds, and we got scrimmage kicks that go out of bounds. Well, it's going to stop the clock. What are you going to do with the ball? Okay. Well, if it's a free kick, there's some options there. Okay. Number one, when you bring the ball in, it's going to come in on the side, the hash mark of the side that the ball went out on. It doesn't come to the center of the field. Goes in the end zone, comes anywhere they want between the hash marks. Put it in the center of the field anywhere they want. But out of bounds. On a free kick, like a kickoff, it's you can see this happen. It is a penalty for kicking the ball out of bounds on a kickoff, and the receiver is going to have a few different options, aren't they, Joe? They're going to have actually 4 different options. They can go back 5 yards and make them re-kick the ball. That's option number 1. They can take the ball at the 35-yard line. Oh no, I mean, think that right. It's 25 yards beyond the where the ball was kicked from. When I say the 35, I'm assuming we kicked from the 40, but we may not have been kicking from the 40. Yeah, 95% of the time it's coming to the 35. But if there was a penalty on, say, the kicked off from the 35, we'd be coming to the 40, wouldn't we? Yep. So anyway, it's 25 yards beyond the free kick line for the kicking team. So that's another option. You see that a lot. Then you have an option of they can just take the ball where it went out of bounds. That'd be an option there. Or they can take the ball 5 yards up from where the ball went out of bounds. You say, when would that be used? Well, let's say a team kicks off and maybe they tried an onside kick and the ball went out on their own 45-yard line. Guess where the receivers are going to get the ball? On the kicker's 40. Yeah, we're going to go, instead of bringing it in at the 45, we're going to go up 5 more yards, okay? So those are the four options. They can take the result of the play, where it went out of bounds. They can take 5 yards, make them re-kick it. They can take it on the 25-yard line from where the kick was made, or they can take it where it went out of bounds plus 5. Got that all in, all four of those in. All right, it's kicked out of bounds. Scrimmage kicks. Hey, don't forget, a scrimmage kick is something that can be returned unless it does what? Unless it breaks the plane of the goal line. We talked about that one of the other sessions. Even if it's caught in the end zone, you can't run it out, folks. It's dead. But a free kick that goes out of bounds, it's going to come in right there. I'm sorry, a scrimmage kick that goes out of bounds is going to come in right where it went out of bounds. That's where the receivers are going to get the ball, okay? The other thing, the play we talked about before on the kickoff, that was assuming that the ball was untouched by anybody, okay? I want to clarify that. Free kicks out of bounds, untouched by the receiving team, okay? If it's touched, it's a different story. It's going to come in where it went out of bounds if a receiver touches it. But anyway, on free kicks, on scrimmage kicks that go out of bounds, they come right straight back in, right where they went out of bounds. First down, first and 10 for the receiving team. I didn't mention field goals. I might want to mention a field goal. Field goals, don't forget the scrimmage kick field goal type of a thing, you might want to call it. They can be run back just like a scrimmage kick or a kick. They can be run back. All right, no doubt about that. So you got to be careful about that. They're nothing more than a scrimmage kick, which can score 3 points should you happen to make it through the uprights. Right? That's basically all it is. Other than that, it's just like a. What's that, Joe?
As long as it didn't cross the goal line.
Yeah, as long as it didn't cross the goal. Once they cross the goal line, it's dead. Just like a kickoff. Scrimmage kick. Once it crosses the goal line, it's dead. You know, there's a play that really confuses a lot of people on scrimmage kicks. You'll see this. You might even see it on a kickoff, where a receiver will muff the ball. You know what a muff is? A muff is where you didn't catch it, but you tried to catch it. You touched it, you muffed it, okay? And there was a play I had an official call me and asked me, a young official, if this was correct. A guy muffed a kick and he turned around and he went to pick it up and he accidentally kicks the ball. And it went like 15 yards into the end zone and somebody else from the other team jumps on it. Well, guess what? The ball was dead the minute it broke the plane. Even though he accidentally kicked it into the end zone. It's still a kick, okay? It's not a fumble. He muffed it, then he muffed it into the end zone. The ball's dead the minute it broke the plane of the end zone. So people get all confused, like, oh man, the other team should have had a touchdown. They jumped on it, that guy touched it. No, the ball's dead. A lot of confusion over that play sometimes. It looks a little weird. Okay, where am I at? Get my clicker. Am I on snapping and handling the ball and stuff like that? Some more good stuff here. Some more good stuff to talk about. Snapping, handling, and passing the ball. False starts. Number one, you can have a center that false starts. To get the ball live, the ball has to be legally snapped, okay? If he goofs up on the snap, it's a false start. A false start on the center, okay? An illegal snap. Okay. False starts. A false start is that thing that occurs. First of all, anytime somebody simulates action at the snap, we've got a false start. And I mentioned earlier how you can do that. A lineman could be down in a three-point stance and he could lunge forward. He misses the count. Same thing could happen to a back. Boom. Well, the play's dead. You blow the play dead when that happens. You also need to know who can move and who can't move. The guys on the end of the line can always reshift, okay? They can pick their hands up. Interior lineman, once the center, this is important, once the center has got his hands on the ball, he's going to lock some people in for a bit, okay? The only guys that can shift after that on the line would be somebody that's at the end of the lines. The other guys who have their hands on the ground, they're in a three-point now, right, are locked in. They pick that hand up, I get a dead ball false start right there. They're locked in. Now the guys on the end, they could get in back, they could back up, okay? That would put the next guy on the end. That would allow him to back up if he, whatever. But the false starts, but one other thing too, you don't have to be in a three-point to false start. Any action that simulates action at the snap, any movement that simulates action at the snap, that is a false start. But please let the center get his hands on the ball. That's the guy that says, okay, now we're ready to roll here. Simulate action at the snap now, or encroach now, and we got a problem. Up until that point, a little common sense, man. Somebody from the defense might have stepped in a little bit. No, they're not even up to the line yet. Wait till that center gets his hands on the ball. That's a key thing to remember before you're going to think about calling any false starts and anything like that. Formations. We have a rule that says you have to have 5 men. Joel knows this good. He umpires. 5 men numbered 50 to 79 on the line of scrimmage under normal situations. The unnormal situation would be in a kicking situation where the numbering rule may not apply.
And also varsity games.
And it's all varsity games, right?
Also varsity, there's no numbering.
There is no what?
There's no numbering for.
Oh, yeah,
some
we're
varsity.
talking, thank you, Joe, we're talking varsity, in varsity games. Some varsity games, forget about the numbering thing, it's gone, it's out the window. We're talking varsity football games, thanks, partner. 50 to 79, 5 guys, okay, up to on the scrimmage plays. Okay, keep that in mind. So my umpire, in this case, Joe would have to be watching for that. Otherwise it's an illegal formation once the ball is snapped. The ball's gonna be snapped, okay? You could have 5 guys in the backfield. That's an illegal formation. You can only have 4 players in the backfield. Okay, you'll see that call. The rule used to be you had to have 7 on the line. That's out the window. You cannot have 5 in the backfield. That's an illegal formation. When does that penalty occur? At the snap. Okay, because it doesn't occur. I mean, you got to wait till the ball snapped. Because what could happen? There could be a shift, and somebody could go up on the line. So these are fouls that occur at the snap. If they have 5 men in the backfield at the snap, we have a problem. We have a flag. It's a live ball penalty. You let the play go through. Unlike your false starts, which you kill. You don't kill illegal shifts. Okay? It's a live ball foul. We also, what else on formations? I'm trying to think. Something else about where officials can really help out, and we talked about this in an earlier session, is that wide out on your side, the guy on your side. Okay, we have a signal. If he is in the backfield, we give him this, we point back toward their side, the quarterback side. We point back toward the offense, that he is in the backfield. If he's not, we don't do anything. I know some guys might just be pointing straight down to the ground. I don't have a problem with that. Just as long as we don't point forward, okay? We only point if the guy is in the backfield. That lets the other wingmen know too, because you line of scrimmage guys are going to be responsible for counting the 5. You got to know, and you got to be on the same page. If you got 2 backs plus a quarterback, and you got your arm back because your wideout's back, your partner's got his arm back because his wideout's back, you better be able to count to 5. There should be 2 flags on that play once the ball is snapped, and we let that go and we bring her back possibly if they accept the penalty for an illegal formation. Okay. Illegal shifts and illegal motion. Am I get the right slide up there? Yes, I do. Illegal shifts. Illegal shifts could be anything whereby there is movement that's not deemed to be a false start, and I got 2 or more people moving and they all fail to reset together for 1 second. After any shift, all 11 players have to reset together for 1 second. Otherwise, I have an illegal shift, okay? An illegal motion is any motion whereby the player is moving toward the line of scrimmage at the snap. That is an illegal motion, okay? If I have 2 guys in motion at the same time, what have I got? I got an illegal shift. So the motion is illegal if it is at the line when the ball is snapped. Okay, the old Canadian play, right? That's your illegal motion. That also is a live ball foul. You don't kill the play. Throw the flag, you got illegal motion. Okay, it'll be a 5-yard penalty should they accept that. And where will those penalties be from, by the way? They'll be from the previous spot, right? Because they occurred at the snap. Fouls occurring at the snap, that's where they come. That's where you penalize from. Okay. Illegal shift and illegal motion. Legal and illegal forward passes. Legal and illegal forward passes. A legal forward pass, and you can only have one of them in a down, is when the quarterback or somebody, the passer, throws the ball forward from behind his line of scrimmage. Fair enough to say? He's behind his line of scrimmage and he throws the ball forward. Now when he throws the ball forward, it might be caught by somebody behind the line, or it might be caught by somebody beyond the line of scrimmage. Those 2 things, it helps to know those because of some things that could happen during that play. Was the pass thrown caught behind the line of scrimmage, or was it caught beyond? But we're talking about legal passes, okay? Those are legal. If my quarterback goes back and throws a forward pass to one of his backs behind the line that's forward, and then that back wheels it down there to this guy that's wide open for a touchdown, we're coming back and we're going to mark off 5 yards from the spot of the illegal forward pass because it was pass number 2, forward number 2. And what are we going to do? We're going to go 5 yards and loss it down from that point, are we not? That's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, that's an illegal forward pass, okay? Well, I got a quarterback that's going to pass, and he rolls out to the right, and he's getting some heat, and he crosses the line by about a yard or two and wheels the ball down there. Once again, I got an illegal forward pass because he's beyond the line of scrimmage, all right? Another illegal forward pass would be, let's say I got a fourth down punt, and they got this crazy play going, and they're tossing the ball back because they're trying to score a touchdown because it's the last play of the game or something, and then one of the guys wheels but instead of throwing it backwards, he throws it forward. That's an illegal forward pass. You cannot do that, all right? So, now what's another one, Joel? Am I missing one more illegal forward pass?
Intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding, thank you very much. We can stop the clock. That's another good thing about starting and stopping the clock. We can stop the clock if we do it legally. The quarterback can, on a pass. If you are behind the center, and as of last year, you don't even have to be underneath the center, as long as you're behind him, so you can do it in the shotgun. You take the snap directly or to you and throw it straight down to the ground. You've legally stopped the clock, okay? Anything other than that is going to be intentional grounding. You're running away, they're about to get you, and you wheel the ball 30 yards out of bounds, okay? That's intentional grounding, or you throw it straight down to the ground, whatever. Intentional grounding, once again, that's an illegal forward pass, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty from the spot and loss of down, okay?
Okay, that was to conserve time, but just the regular intentional grounding.
To conserve time.
Well, no, the one you're talking about is spiking the ball to stop the clock.
Yes.
All right, now I'm just talking about that's one of them as well. But the other one is just the regular intentional grounding, where you
just throws it in an area where there's nobody at. Exactly, right. He's trying to save time here.
No, I'm not worried. He's not trying to save time, but just trying to save loss of yardage.
Oh,
like he's going to get sacked. He rolls out and
he just throws it away.
He just throws it away. That's
exactly.
the regular intentional grounding.
Bottom line is they're both intentional groundings.
Right, but one's a specific.
Right. Yeah. Specific is to conserve time or to conserve yardage.
That's
either
the
one, right? Yeah. That would be your fifth one.
Yeah.
Good. Hope you guys got that. But anyway, they're all intentional grounding, and they're all 5-yard penalties, and they're all loss of downs, aren't they?
From the spot of the foul.
From the spot of the foul. Exactly right. Perfect. Great. Okay, legal and illegal forward passes. Let's go to some eligible receivers here for a minute. Who is eligible? You got to be eligible by number and position, don't you, Joel? Number and position, two things.
Varsity.
Yeah, on the varsity level. Thank you very much. I keep forgetting. Assume I'm talking about varsity, right? Yeah, on varsity level, because we don't have a numbering system in sub-varsity, but at least not yet. And so anyway, we got by number, and the numbers that are eligible numbers would be, let's see, help me on this one, Joel, would be
1 to 49.
We got 1 to 49 and
80 to 99.
80 to 99. Good. 1 to 49, 80 to 99.
50 to 79 are all
Yeah, 50 to 79 are ineligible numbers. We should throw something out right now and say, can they ever carry the ball? I'm not going to go there right now. No, we'll just stick with eligible. So anyway, got to have an eligible number, and you got to be in an eligible position. Positions that are eligible are anybody in the back. Anybody in the backfield would be eligible, and the two guys on the end of the line. That's pretty much it as far as eligibility goes at the snap.
6.
6.
Maximum of 6.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, because you could have 4 in the backfield, 2 in the end. Maximum 6 people eligible. Very good. That's good, Joel. Right. All right. Let's go with that's at the snap, right? And they're going to be eligible throughout the play. We corrected ourselves from another session on that, right? So those 6 guys are going to be eligible. Now, guess what? Everybody else can become eligible if something happens during the play. You know what that is? If the defense touches the ball. The pass thrown, once a defensive guy touches it, everybody's eligible. Hey, by the way, who's eligible on the defense? Everybody is eligible on the defense, right? So keep that in mind too. You know, when guys go out for a pass, remember, both of those guys have the same protection. The defensive player and the offensive player, they're both eligible. They're both afforded certain protection. They both can be interfered with. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, eligible and ineligible. Pass interference restrictions. Wow, okay, pass interference. The offensive pass interference, okay, you know, when you go down and smack somebody up and prevent them from catching the ball or something. That starts, and you watch me on this, Joel, that starts with the snap. Okay, everybody, The restrictions are, you cannot commit pass interference from the start of the play if you're on offense, right? I'm trying to say this right. Am I saying this right, Joe? Yeah.
No, they can. Offensive pass interference
Offensive pass interference starts
at the snap.
at the snap, right? So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here. The offensive player is under these restrictions at the snap. That's the way I'm trying to get it off. All right. Too much talking today, right? So anyway, when is that off of them? When does the restrictions on the offensive player receivers, when is it lifted from them? When do they not have to worry about it? Would be when it's touched by anybody on the defense.
Yes.
Okay, when it's touched by someone on the defense, then the restrictions are off of them. Okay, let's go for, what about the defense? When are the restrictions on them? It's when the pass is thrown. Once the ball's in the air, once it's thrown, then there's restrictions on the defense, all the defensive players. Okay. So, if I missed anything on that, on restrictions, I think that's right, isn't it?
And restrictions end for the defense when anybody touches.
Yes, that's correct. The restrictions end on the defense when anybody touches the ball. Good point. When anybody touches the ball, restrictions end on the defense. Okay, good. All right. Enough said about that. I wasn't exactly the clearest on that one, but Joe, I'm glad you're here to help me out on that.
You're at like 30.
About 30 minutes on?
Just short of 30.
Good. We're going to go to scoring plays and touchbacks a little bit, then we'll rock and roll. Everybody knows what a touchdown is. It's when you got possession with the ball and crossed the goal line of the opponent. Then you got a touchdown. You got 6 points, okay? You then are going to have, obviously you're going to have an option to go for a point or points after. So you can score 1 or 2 points depending on if you're successful on the try. Field goals are worth 3 points, as you know, and they got to go over the upright and between the uprights. They cannot go over the top of an upright. We have actually had that happen. It has, and you've probably seen it on the college and the pro level before too. The football has to go between the uprights and over the bar, over the crossbar, okay, in order to be successful, okay? Safeties are worth 2 points. Safeties are when you get the opponent, tackle them in their own end zone, right? Or you could block a kick coming out and it goes out of the end zone. You're going to get 2 points on the safety there. You can get a safety if there is a penalty. A team is trying to come out, say they're on their 2-yard line, whatever, coming out, and there is a penalty, the holding penalty. The quarterback goes back to throw a pass, and somebody back in the end zone is holding. There's a foul committed there, okay? There's another opportunity to take the penalty and take the safety on a play like that too. So those are basically the way we score points. And I think as an official, one thing you got to be careful about, and we talked a little bit about whistle mechanics, is extra points, we blow them dead pretty quick. Keep that whistle out of your mouth on field goals, people, because that ball is alive. Okay, and it's not a dead ball play like it is on an extra point. I am at about my 35-minute mark, and hopefully I didn't confuse everybody on the pass interference restrictions and when they're in place. I hope we got that right. If not, let me know, and we'll straighten it out during the Zoom meetings a little bit. Anything I missed on this, Joe? Anything you want to add? Feel free. Anything? We good? We're on good at that. All right, great. See everybody next week for lesson number 5. Have a great week. See you on the Zoom meeting.